everyone, just getting ready to go out fishing. Couple of hours in the evening after a nice bit of dinner with the family. There's Kate and Pippa, over here is Erin, down here is Charlie the dog, and over here is a nice Ruby Murray that we just polished off. So I'm going to hop in the car, get down the lake and see if I can't snag a carp to hold up for you. Cheers. Just arrived at the lake and as usual it's a race against the clock. Probably only a couple of hours of daylight left. Just locked the gate behind me and as you can see the car park is completely empty this time of night, which is great. This is perhaps the club's runs water, I suppose, so it's a bit of a daytime venue. I don't think many people night fish it, although you are allowed to night fish it, but I'm going to go down with minimal gear, which is this stuff you can see here. Oh, there you go. Well, that's the dog crate, but next to the dog crate, rod bag, bucket of bait, a tackle bag here, which also doubles as a chair. My sister-in-law bought me that and it's cracking. I'll show you it down at the lake. Let's haul all this stuff down there and then see if we can get fishing. Made it down to the lake. Brilliant. Didn't take too long. It's a little walk from the car, but it's not too bad. It only takes about 5 minutes. If you had loads of stuff, that could be quite tough. It's not really big enough for a barrow, so I've travelled really light. This is the, nearly went in. This is the seat cum bag, which I'll be using today. Nice little easy and light way of carrying your tackle. Just a small tackle box for today. And over here, got my unhooking mat. I might be tempting fate a bit, but I'm going to get the unhooking mat out of the bag. Start setting things up. So, net first. Why net first? Because if you don't do it first, you'll forget. And if you forget and then catch a fish, well, you've got very little chance of landing it. Because let me tell you, trying to put a net together whilst playing a fish rarely works out, and I'm speaking from experience. So I tend to always sort my net out first. This is a Fox Warrior S landing net that I got here. I got it off of eBay. It was a used one, but it's been serving me well for the last couple of years. I have had to replace the mesh due to an accident where I broke one of the supporting arms, but it works just fine for me. One of my favourite bits of kit at the moment is this Signet rod pod, which Mum got me last Christmas, and it really does do a lovely job. The thing I like best about it is how quick it is to set up. A few turns of these hand wheels and you're ready to go, which is all for the best when you've only got a couple of hours fishing ahead of you. So that's pretty much ready to go. Appreciate the camera angle's static, so you probably can't see me much. I apologise for that, but I don't have a cameraman, I'm on my own. Just screwing these sticks into my buzz bar, which has already got my 3 alarms attached. You can hear fish crashing out all around me. I think it's time I started speaking a little bit more quietly in the hope that they'll start coming into my swim when I apply some bait. rear rest is always a little bit easier to put together because you can just attach and then spin the buzz bar down the thread, ready to go. Pop a little bit of bait in here. Pre-tied and even pre-baited several rigs. Here's one such rig. I'm sure you've seen it before if you've watched any of my other videos. It's a snowman rig with a size 8 swivel, an anti-tangle sleeve, some 15-pound coated hook link material, a size 8 Nash Fang X hook, barbless rule here, to a fairly long hair with a snowman rig consisting of a krill bottom bait and a white krill pop-up, which just rests on the bottom of the lake and is sort of neutral buoyancy, I think they say. So these are what are going to be going out, but before I use any of those, I'm going to put some bait in the water. Made up 4, which I will glug, and then hopefully if I catch a fish I can quickly clip on a new hook link and pop it back in the swim and see how we get on. Even putting that small amount of bait out there, I saw 1 or 2 fish actually moving towards the sound of the boilies hitting the surface. So really exciting, pretty stoked to get started. So I'm going to tackle up a couple of rods and lower them into the swim. So here's rod number 1. So 2 3/4 pound, 10-foot Banshee carp rod. Nice light rod with a Witchwood Solace 10 reel attached. It's already made up. I hold it together with a couple of rod bands in my rod bag, and I just clip my sort of tubing and lead clip setup using a big paper clip, which just clips onto the rod ring so that it all stores away nicely in my bag. So I put that paper clip to one side and it'll go back on when I'm ready. So the other rod is set up in exactly the same way. That's a length of sinking tubing, a tail rubber, a hybrid lead clip and a quick clip so that I can quickly nick on and off new hook links as and when, if I catch fish, fingers crossed. My second rod's exactly the same, so I won't bore you with all the details of that again. I'm going to get both out into the pond and then sit back and see if we can get a bite. as I'm watching, I can see several fish in the upper layers. Now, it doesn't mean they won't tip down, but another one there cruising on the surface. It might be a little bit harder to get a bite off the bottom there. Haven't brought any surface fishing gear with me, as I said before, travelling for everyone. So all I can do really is hope I can come down to the bottom to pick up those boilies. Fish on. Nothing massive. And you've just got a couple of hours to spare. Getting any bend in the rod is a bonus. Let's see if I can net this one. See if she'll let me take her photo. Cracking fish. Just gonna let that fish rest in the margin for a moment or two. Just had a bite on the second rod there in the typical. Just going to let that fish rest in the margin for a moment or two, and then get it onto the unhooking mat, which I'll get wet, and then we can take a photo. Fantastic. Well, Lady Luck has shined on me and resulted in this, probably 6 or 7 pound fish, I would say. Very long framed fish, but very lean. And if I'm honest, not the prettiest of fish I've caught. Still plenty of fight left in her though. I'm going to slip this one back. And see if I can't catch you a slightly prettier one. Carp's a carp though, right? Well, no sooner had I returned that first fish and got the rods repositioned The second rod absolutely roared off. I mean, stripping line like you wouldn't believe. I thought I'd hit the record button on the camera, but I didn't in time. Probably it was for the best anyway, because the fish did fall off after about 2 minutes, which is a real shame. Perhaps I could have kept a little bit more pressure on the fish. It is barbless hooks here, you know, they any slack in the line and that fish can shake the hook, and I think that's exactly what happened. Went on a big run, took quite a bit of line from a reasonably tight clutch actually, but then it was just at the point I was going to retrieve some line, the fish came off, and hey ho, you can't win them all, but 2 bites in about 10 minutes is pretty good going, I should say. You can see both rods are back out there. I'm going to once again crumble a bit of boilie, just flick those over the top, and see if I can't get another run to make up for that lost fish. The first fish, although a decent size I suppose, did have some quite nasty mouth damage. Obviously been fished a lot, and that fish has obviously been caught a lot, and that's not really what I go fishing for, you know. I don't get a buzz from that, catching a fish which is scarred and battered like that, so I haven't seen one like that before in here, although obviously they are there. The fish that I have had out of here so far have been really good looking, good condition fish, so my hope is that I can get one of those to show you, and take a photo or two of. Just had a little bleep on that middle rod there, or right hand rod I should say, so watch this space. I'm going to pop some bait out. And then, while I wait, brought myself a little treat. Yeah, a nice real ale. What could be better than kicking back for a couple of hours in the evening, watching the rods, knowing there's a really good chance of catching another fish, whilst enjoying a beer. Fantastic. Keep an eye on those rods for me, because if one of those rattles off, I'll be leaping up to get it. Came off. Fish number 2, only a little one, 3 or 4 pounds, but a really good scrap though. I've actually hooked probably 4 fish. This is only the second one I've managed to land. So I'm going to get this one back, reposition the rods, see if we can't catch something a bit bigger. Well, the action's coming really thick and fast now. Can't seem to keep a rod in the water. So I think I'm going to drop down to just one rod and looks like in scooping up this fish, I've also scooped up this tiny little roach. I don't know if you can see that, but he's wee, so he's going to go back in the pond. I can hold up this rather angry common carp to show you. It really did put up an amazing account of itself considering its size. Oh, another tiny roach in here. I've dropped down to fishing just one rod because frankly I couldn't keep two rods in the water. It's been bite after bite, which is fantastic, but it has led to some silly mistakes and I've lost a few fish. I've probably hooked 7 and only landed 4. Nothing big so far, 3, 4, 5 pounds I would say, ranging from, but I'm just hanging on in there, fishing one rod now, and hopefully I can fish better and actually hook and land more of those bites. Let's wait and see. Well, that was definitely a bite, and I didn't want to leave that rig out there, not knowing if it was in a tangle or what have you. So I've brought it in, and I'm going to switch it over for a new rig. Well, this is the best fish of the session, and probably the last fish of the session, to be honest, because light is fading fast, and it's time to pack up and go home. I said I only had a couple of hours, and I've pushed that, to be honest. It's been an amazing session, just bite after bite after bite. It is a Runswater, and it's certainly lived up to its name today. This fish is probably only 6 pounds, maybe 7 pounds, but a really long, lean fish. It feels like perhaps at the right time of year, this one could be a bit of a chunk, but at the moment, it's just a torpedo of a common carp. So I'm going to try and hold up for the camera now. Very lively. Magic. Goes to show that even on limited time, if you're willing to put the effort in, you can still catch carp. This one's going to go back, rods are coming in, and I'll get off home. Thanks for watching.